being able to slightly even relax the body at will whenever we want to, no matter whether we're at home enjoying something or we're in the ICU, God forbid, getting treatment. There's often one part of our body we can relax. And then the thinking of noticing how powerful thinking is and how we can replace some of those thoughts or not take them that seriously. And we'll add the next layer today, which is to explore together through the guided meditation to really explore Dayenu. It would have been enough to see what we have and just puff that all up, what we have, and see if that can bring some level of satisfaction. But it never takes the place of what we want. And those wants and desires to go back to the airport, to go visit animals, to see our parents, our grandbabies, to pray together, to have Seder together, for many people to have Easter service tomorrow together and Easter dinner. All that's really valid. We can have both. In meditation, we can have both wanting it to be different and yet taking a bit of time together and just being with what is, even if it's uncomfortable. But we'll start. Questions before we start about where I'm going with this? Okay, good, good. All right, so get real comfortable. Ezra, you might want to mute yourself here.
Pam, before you get started, I just want to let you and everyone else know that in case you had people who were planning on watching this on Facebook Live right now, that we're actually live on YouTube because Facebook Live was not connecting for us.
Okay.
So if you need to, I'm going to put a message on the Temple's Facebook Live site on Temple's Facebook saying with the link to our YouTube so that people can enjoy this class if they happen to be going there looking for it. So, but letting you all know that that's where we are right now. And with that, I'm going to hand it right back to Pam so that she can continue.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it possible to mute my photo, remove my photo, but just have the audio?
Yes. I'm going to stop video on you.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks.
Taken care of.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay. Good. I want to be, and I'm going to take a moment to get the view that I want. Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, my heart is happy. Okay. Great. So let's begin. Oh my goodness, the bell did not come here. Let's just begin. We'll start as we have most weeks, settling into our posture. Welcome, welcome. And we'll go in 5 different steps to settle briefly. And that's with the legs and the feet. Notice the sensations in the legs and the feet, the most lower part of the body. And notice this with either eyes closed, eyes partially closed, or even eyes wide open. This is a meditation class. There's instruction here, so I suggest that you try all 3. And once you've decided on what to do with your eyes, for those of us that are sitting, we'll pay attention to our legs and our feet. If you're not sitting, notice the part that is supporting the bottom of you. And relax that area. And then moving up to the seat area. Shelley, this may not apply to you, but improvise. And relax the seat area, yet in that relaxation, notice all the points of contact. Yeah, I'm sitting on a chair, but feel it in the front, in the back, and to the sides, and then in the center, and settle into it. A sense of a structure, a support structure that's holding us, our base. This can also be done as easily standing. And now with the attention, go to the belly area, the pelvic and the belly area, and see how that all stacks and fits in to the seat area, which stacks and fits into the legs and feet, supported by the chair. Being interested and aware of body sensations, even though thoughts may be there, desires and feelings may be there, even sleepiness may be there. Okay. A sense of our own body. And stacking on that, the breathing area, the lungs. Now add the breath to this grounding, stabilizing structure of our own bodies. Breathing in such a way that we're relaxed and energized, alert. Possibly even shifting the posture. Spreading the awareness on the seat area so that there's more room to fill the lungs and breathe in a way that's relaxed yet energized. This is technically possible to do even if there's pain in breathing. But if there is discomfort in breathing, everyone looks healthy, but you never know. There is difficulty breathing, then breathe appropriately. You don't get an A in meditation for breathing a certain way. Do what's appropriate for this afternoon. But feel that breath. Which goes in and out on a base of belly, seat, legs, and feet. Relatively still. And with these in-breaths, stretch the spine up slightly and let everything go on the out-breath without really making a movement. This is internal. Of course, our breathing apparatus will expand and contract. These are mostly inner movements. Just stretch up and straighten the neck. And then let the breath out. Relax the jaw, smooth the face, and settle into those other levels of support and foundation. Notice how that is. And if you get pulled away by thought, gently bring the attention back and delight in the fact that we have the ability to do that, whether it be 2 or 3 times or 500 times while we're together. Nobody's keeping score. All meditation, excuse me, all meditation has to do, at least somewhat, but especially with me, with focusing the attention and putting our attention on what we deem relative and important to us. Some classes and practices are just so that we have the ability to do that when needed or when wanted. Then moving on to our week 2 together in this relaxed body, sitting on a solid foundation. With eyes closed, bring something to mind, to see it. Perhaps ourselves in our room. With eyes closed, if we see ourselves, that's internal seeing. If we see our room, that's internal seeing. Just briefly check in there. Visual thinking. Much easier to do this with eyes closed, though it can be done with eyes half open and fully open. You might notice, it might be true for you, that there's vague images or sharp images. Mostly they're vague and kind of fuzzy, but then there's other places that are kind of a darkness or lightness or a grayscale blank. So I'll ask you just for a few minutes to take attention away from the actual images of yourself, place, anything you're thinking about, and just look at the relative darkness or lightness behind your closed eyes or in front of your eyes. And just see if there's that ability to toggle between an image and a relative lack of image. Might be swirly, might be mottled, kind of a grayscale blank, maybe very bright or kind of dark. Sometimes that brings up thought, but let the thoughts be to the background about what we're actually seeing. But play with that. Some people find that relaxing. And if you find it relaxing, enjoy that relaxation. This is freedom from things, from visual representation of things. Just lightness or darkness, combination, either staying the same or changing. If images come through, just let them fade away as they will, or see through them. This is all done in a relaxed body, supported by structures, with breath coming in and out. Some of my friends and I call this easy rest. It's a way of taking a little break from anything and relaxing the body, focusing the attention. And just wherever you are, start again or maintain. If you forget the instructions, don't worry, I'll say them again. Now, letting go of that, let's review the internal talking that we can hear. And we're going to focus our attention on a word or a phrase. And pick one. Pick a word or a phrase to say to yourself, either that has meaning or doesn't. And just listen to it, usually between your ears in your head, somewhat farther back than where we saw the images. And if you need a choice of a word, may I suggest the word Dayenu? Not that it means anything, but it has sonic vibrations. We want to listen to that multi-syllable word, saying it as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. Not saying it with your mouth, hearing it between your ears in your head somewhere. Refreshing whenever needed. Saying that word over and over, or a word that is more resonant for you tonight. Not forcing anything, but being vigilant with our attention. Hearing the word that we've chosen or the phrase. I'm doing that right along with you. Even as I'm thinking of what to say next, I'm hearing that word I suggested. The 3 syllables of it and the pause in between. And you could combine all of what we've just gone over. Our body awareness with a base, foundation, support structure, resting within whatever we're lying on or sitting on, feeling that relaxation even more in the legs and in the pelvis, and the breath lifting us up on the in-breath and effortlessly relaxing on the out-breath. Head being supported. Our body, our attention, our mind relaxing its view of things inside. Eyes closed, not seeing the outside, and a word. We'll do this for a couple more minutes. Still closed. I'll gently introduce today's lesson. Oh, my internet's unstable. Okay. Today's lesson or practice focus, noticing the ability to breathe in and out. Kind of a timely topic. And maybe say, Dayenu, I can breathe. Just notice how that is. To be delighted, overjoyed, and appreciated in our little meditation group here this afternoon, that each of us is breathing on their own. Even if one of us has troubled breathing, we're still able to do it on our own. And for those of us who can breathe as deeply as we want to, really appreciate that. And show that appreciation to ourselves and to God, who breathed our first breath into us. We're still breathing, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not to think about it as much as to feel it. To feel it in our belly, to feel it in our lungs, back, sides. How far does that sensation go in our body? Where's that cutoff? Where your knees feel the breath? That's pretty remote. But the seat area might. And now in our imagination, holding on to that appreciation, in your mind's eye, pretend that you have a bandana or a mask on. Can you feel it by my suggestion? The points of contact on the face, those nasty little ear loops, or however we've tied it on. But there's a different kind of breathing. My body's already reacting to that, and I'm breathing more shallowly at the thought of putting a mask on. But even this, Dayenu, we have a mask. Even if that's the mask in our imagination, and we can express our appreciation to God, to ourselves, to the forces that allow us to be breathing on our own and to have a mask so that we can go out. But also to all those little nerves and places on our body that can feel and sense directly what a mask feels like. And then in your mind, take the mask off and revel in the freedom of being in a safe place where a mask doesn't need to be worn. The body knowing the body, breathing, relaxed, and unencumbered by a mask. I spend a portion of my work days meditating with the mask, appreciating the protection that I hope it's giving me, and also feeling what it's like to have that structure on me. And in that way, bringing meditation into my daily life instead of being upset. Otherwise, a lot of us get upset that we have to wear them. But there's a choice with attention we can appreciate. And staying with that. Periods of silence can be helpful. Things can settle down. Pace, even at home at which we're going, can settle down and things might surface. Whatever surfaces can either be paid attention to or not. For now, suggesting that we just focus on one of the things or two or all of the things that we've covered. The relaxation in the body, the relaxation in mental images, saying a word such as Dayenu, not saying, but listening to it. And appreciating the breathing. And asking ourselves whether this is enough, what we have right now. I know it's supposed to be enough, but letting go of those techniques and contemplating, is this enough? Could this be enough for the next 30 minutes? To sit here together, our wonderful group, is it worthy of saying Dayenu? Even without what we've had before, is there a tiny degree of, okay, this could be enough? Is it enough to be together on Shabbat, that we have Shabbat? Instead of, is it enough? Is there a way we can detect even a scrap of enoughness in that it's Shabbat? And embody it. Does the body react to that? Could be that the answer is no. And from a quiet place like this informs us of what needs to be done, and we take proper action. No, I can't stand being alone. I need more contact. Or, no, I need to be outside right now. And if you do, please go. So meditation can bring a clearer mind for proper action. But often the case is Dayenu. There's so many blessings and I'm overflowing. We all have internet connection. Dayenu. We probably have enough food in the house for dinner tonight, or someone's bringing it to us, Dayenu. Which doesn't mean we shouldn't have enough. I mean, have groceries and stock up. None of this is what should be done or shouldn't be done. Just an attitude and a focus. We're doing this together to get acquainted in our body and in our mind what Dayenu is like for us, so that it's easier to bring up when needed, or just comes up spontaneously. Well, we're breathing, we're together, we're not wearing a mask. We have Shabbat, Wi-Fi, and Torah. A few of us have probably heard some talks today or been in a service or said a prayer. We got that too, Dayenu. Well, spend a few minutes conjuring up your own Dayenus. Feel them, see them, hear them. All from a quiet, still posture. We were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, and our God brought us out with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. And here we are. That's the other phrase I like to meditate with and contemplate this time of year. In a quiet body that is willing to relax and be soft of thoughts. About how then and now we will be brought out of our narrow places. We'll take a few minutes to transition from this to a more active meditation that we're going to do. Notice when you open your eyes, if there's any sense of Dayenu, that I'm not where I ordinarily would be on a Saturday at 5:45 p.m. during Passover, but I'm here. It's enough. It would have been enough, and it is enough. We're together, and to thoroughly appreciate our inner resources that almost can be never taken away. And I'd like if you would allow me to, in this meditative state, to watch one of my favorite videos. So I'm gonna look to make sure you can hear this. Yes? All of our focus on this. Even if you've seen it 100 times. That's all you have to do is watch the video and feel it. Stay with it. This is meditation.
Aviva, it's time to open the door for Eliyahu.
And as a group, let's go right back into meditation. So close your eyes or look down at the ground and feel what's going on in the body from watching that. Let it buzz and ripple, spread in delight, or whatever your experience is. Now let the breathing spread the delight. Fan the happiness. And allow the Dayenu to go as deep as it will. To depths that we may never have experienced before and may not even know how to talk about. for short periods of the day or the week or the month, on our own or together, we can escape the perils and the plagues and use our own inner resources to have what we really need and to be okay with what's going on. And to use that as a stepping stone for right action and the changes that we do need to make individually and collectively. Just take another minute, and then we'll rejoin as a group and unmute for comments, reports, questions. And if you wanted more of a meditation, well, Dianu, this is what we got. And let it be enough, because there's always more time to meditate. Can I unmute everyone, or everyone just unmute if you... Been really nice from this end, really nice.
Thank you.
Did everyone participate in Rabbi's counting of the Omer this morning?
I got up for it.
I highly suggest it. I've been waiting for many years to be part of a synagogue that counts the Omer. I'm so happy. And a little, even 2 or 3 minutes of this kind of meditation can make it easier to soak it in. I sometimes try to count the Omer on the go. Doesn't work that well. And I'm just checking it off. Quite beautiful. We're in the week of Chesed.
I tried. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I got up and I couldn't get into it. I couldn't, I mean, not that I couldn't emotionally get into it, I couldn't technically get into it.
Okay.
So yeah, I was frustrated. I had the same problem yesterday, so I'll have to work that out. But I do love counting the Omer.
Good. Good. So you are doing, I know, Eve, we've talked about that before. You are also counting the Omer.
Yeah, I really love that.
Eve, I would recommend reaching out to Shoni, because Shoni was able to verify that
Yeah.
even if people were not Facebook members, they could still watch it.
I know. Yeah,
Check with her,
I will. Yeah. Thanks.
of course.
I'm wondering why I can only see 9 people on the screen. I know that there's more.
Swipe it.
There are only 10 of us with photos up right now.
Oh, there are?
Yeah.
Oh, Sunny and Eve.
Yeah, I muted my photo.
Are you
No,
on
but
an iPad, Shelley?
Yes.
So if you swipe to the left, then you should see more people.
No, I don't. Maybe it's the iPad.
Yeah.
Maybe on the other computer. Well, I'm on my computer. I don't have a video, but sometimes I use Ben's and he does. So maybe that's what we see more.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're on the computer, you can see up to 25 on one page.
Okay.
But on the iPad, you're restricted on how many you can see on a page.
I'm curious how it was to watch the video.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Smile.
Except you never told us to open our eyes. It was
Oh.
like,
Oh, I meant to. Darn it, Bonnie. I knew I forgot something.
I was going, I'm listening to it. And I said, well, how am I supposed to watch it? I guess I better open my eyes,
You're right. That's right. Details.
Mhm.
But that would be fun. I've seen it so many times. I probably could imagine it.
Yeah, I thought, am I supposed to imagine it as I'm listening to it?
Right, you can imagine that. Imagine.
I also want to just a little plug for Friday mornings. On Friday mornings, Bonnie is doing meditation with the healing bowls, and so if you have not experienced that yet with Bonnie on Friday morning at 10 o'clock, I would invite you to do that. Also, next week we'll have our meditation service, but not the class in the afternoon. So we figure, that's just too much meditation for one day.
Yeah, forget that.
Yeah, don't want to
Not for
OD on
Pam.
it.
Exactly, of course. But we will have our 10 a.m. service next Shabbat morning, and that Pam and I will lead. And but then we'll renew the classes the following Saturday again at 5 o'clock. So next week, 10 a.m.
Very good.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
I really encourage everyone.
Is Havdalah before the Shiva or the Shiva before after Havdalah?
Avdallah is at 7. The Shiva Minyan is at 7:30. We'll probably still do Havdalah even as part of the Shiva Minyan because some of the family of Bob Grove will not be observing Havdalah until a little bit later. So I'll be doing Havdalah at the beginning of Shiva as well.
All righty then, thank you.
And I think you've done this, Cantor, on a few of these. Does anyone need anything? Should we know if anyone needs anything that we can actually do something about?
I think Andrea's gonna do some shopping for me.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Don, can you hear me?
She went last week and there were no eggs left at Ralph's, but
Well, that's a shame.
I know.
Eggs,
Must be,
eggs and toilet paper seem to be the
yeah,
top.
eggs were gone.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where I found eggs. In Rolling Hills Plaza, there's a Bevmo. And
Yeah,
next to it, there's a Japanese market.
ah,
Yeah.
And I've got eggs there.
all right, well,
They're
shopping,
Japanese eggs, but they taste the same to me.
yeah. Anyway, I'll talk to her later, so.
And that's not far from Andrea either.
Right.
No, because she was going to the Ralph's there. So I live like I don't know, less than a mile from Andrea. So
Right.
she tells me when the rain's on.
Thank you, guys.
Anyway,
Anyways, I want to thank Pam one more time for her insightful teaching today. I love the embracing of Dayenu. And in all of our lives, I feel like it's important for us to embrace the concept of Dayenu, because we spend so much of our lives wanting the next thing or looking forward to what's next and forgetting to appreciate what it is that we've already received and already have. And that really is the theme of Dayenu, is to appreciate what we have and recognize that it would be enough. And then when we get more, we get to recognize that and say, wow, it's still just, I'm overwhelmed with the gifts of life and the gifts of community. And that's how I feel every time I see all of you, anybody from our temple, anytime I see you guys as part of a program that we're doing, I'm just, every time it's a Dayenu moment for me, because it's just so wonderful that we are all coming together, even in these difficult times, and bringing the comfort and bringing the community to each other, even when we are isolated in our own homes. So I hope that, yes, Shelley.
There's something I'd like to share.
Sure.
I have a Vietnamese friend who was asking me about Passover. As a matter of fact, she said she bought 2 of the big boxes of matzahs at Costco because she just thought, she'd heard they last forever. And I said, oh my gosh, I couldn't find any. So she gave me 2, but that wasn't what I want. That was really nice, but it wasn't what I wanted to share. So she was wondering about the Seder plate and about the blood on the door, on the doorpost. And I said, because that told the Jews to stay inside and the monster was going to go by. And what a connection. History repeats itself. The Jews have to stay inside, but so does everybody else.
Right. Absolutely. Look, I mean, I think that there's something to be said for, what would have happened if everybody had stayed inside? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But actually, we do know from our stories, but that this was about the angel of death staying away from those homes. But you know, in this case, it's almost like that angel is out there and we're protected when we're in here right now.
Yeah.
And so that's a wonderful description, Shelley. Thank you.
I asked my mom, sorry,
How do
I
I
asked
get-
my mom when I was a kid, Mom, what would happen? What about our friends who weren't Jewish? And she said, oh, honey, we would have brought them in the house. Diana.
Diana.
Diana, indeed. Anyways, again, thank you, Pam, and thank you to all of you for being with us.
Everyone.
I
Thank
want to
you.
share one thing with everybody. A friend just texted me. There's a thing called Saturday Night Seder. She said it's hilarious. You must watch it. Saturday Night Seder.
Yes,
I think it's on YouTube or
That is going
Netflix.
on right now on,
Yes.
I think also on YouTube, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it's on YouTube.
Right.
YouTube.
All right.
Saturday
That's
Night
where I'll go
Seder.
for the next hour.
Bye, you guys.
Much
Okay,
love,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye.
Good remainder of Shabbat.
Good Shabbos.
Good job. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.